Hey, beautiful beings. I am outside just getting a little grounding in. It felt like that was the only thing to do with these crazy energies that are present right now. I hope you all are faring well. I'm recording this on 10:10. We're having a nice 10:10 energy portal today, although I wouldn't say that I would call it nice necessarily for me, but it's been very intense. We're just off of a full moon that was a lot about the frustration that we feel when our relationships are out of balance, including the relationships with ourselves, with systems and structures and time. And my guides are so funny. So the theme that we are working on in Healing Circle this month is coexist, and we have that on Wednesday at 7:30, Wednesday, October 12th at 7:30. And they're wanting me to talk about coexistence, and right now all I want to do is hermit and be away from people and not talk to anyone, because my heart chakra is moving through something and I'm feeling really just disconnected from my loving self that I normally am. And we all have frustration, we all have anger, we all have that energy that is available to us and present within us in some aspects. And this full moon was bringing a lot of that to the surface for many of us, myself included. And it's really difficult. It's difficult to navigate that. And, we also are being asked to coexist with people around us when we're in this vibration, and we don't want to be frustrated with them. We don't want to be angry with them, but sometimes we just are. And so my guides have been urging me to tell this story from a couple of years ago about coexistence and what happens when we bring the light, even if we're not sure if we're going to be accepted. So a couple of years ago, I guess it's probably more than a couple of years ago, probably more like 4 years ago. Time is very interesting. I was doing some consulting, some sales and marketing consulting, as had just gotten laid off and was working with a friend of mine while I was still building up Zen Within Academy and getting this business flowing. And my first gig to do sales and marketing consulting was with a oil pump company. So they built pumps for the giant oil rigs out in Texas. And clearly that is a industry that has really been harming the earth, but is also needed in the way that we are operating on this planet right now. And so I had some really interesting emotions about going to do this training, and this being my kind of like first gig where I was going to be in front of people doing some of the training myself and, kind of putting myself in front of these people. And I didn't know if I was going to be accepted. And I wanted to bring more of my fullness to this job than I had brought to my corporate gig. And so I was in this transition place. So we get there, we're in the middle of nowhere in Texas. We're staying at a nice enough hotel, but we're in the middle of nowhere. And I show up and, we have dinner, we're going to do our training the next day. And so I'm like, I'm going to go to bed, get a good night's sleep, and get ready, to start the day. And so in the middle of the night, I'm way up in this hotel room, pretty high up. In the middle of the night, I am awakened, and it feels like my whole center channel, my whole chakra column is so wide that I could drive 2 Mack trucks through it. That's what I like to say when I'm having one of these things in the middle of the night. And there's all this light and energy just pulsing into my body. And it's kind of overwhelming, but kind of amazing at the same time. And with it, I'm like, okay, well, what is this? And my guides start speaking to me, and they said, well, you're here to do some important work. And I was like, okay, well, what do you mean important work? What is this? And they gave me the image of what was happening to the earth, and with these oil companies that were pulling all of this, all this stuff out of the earth so that we could have our oil and do our things that we do on the planet, and how Mother Earth was being robbed. But then I also got some insight into the people that worked for this company that I was about to go do training at, and how there was a whole bunch of karma that was getting created for them because of the role that they were playing in this industry. And that they really were kind of innocent bystanders in this. Like, they didn't, where they lived and what they were exposed to, this was the best paying job that they could get, and this was the best that they could do, and they didn't feel like they had other choices. And so unknowingly they were creating all this karma for themselves. And all this light was pouring through my body and being sent into the earth beneath this company and into the land to clear that karma for this company and for the people that worked there. And it was really beautiful. I mean, it still kind of makes me tear up to think about, because there was all this love coming through from source, through my body into the earth to heal the earth, but also to support these people who were kind of caught up in this system. And, you know, I could have gone into the place of judgment of like, well, they can make different choices. They could do something differently. But sometimes people can't. Sometimes, you know, I think most of the time people are doing the best that they can with what they feel like they've been given, what they know about. And so this goes on for a while. And I say to my guides, well, you know, I need to get up really early and I really need to do a good job tomorrow. Can you all, you know, help me tomorrow to show up in my fullness and do a good job? This is my first time doing this training, first time kind of like stepping into this role, and I really want to do a good job for these people. And so I finally go back to sleep. I get up the next day and I am just full of energy and light and love and excited to just go do this ridiculous sales training that, you know, I'm sure these people were expecting it to be boring as heck. And you know, I go in and all day long, I am just exuding this light. I'm cracking jokes with people. I'm doing the training. They're really participating. Everything is going really well. We're connecting. And my boss at the time, or my business partner, I guess I should say at the time, he was like, wow, he's like, I've never seen them this engaged. I've never seen them. He's like, you're really bringing it today. And you know, we go to dinner that night and I'm at this table with like 35 men and I'm the only woman there. And we're having a really beautiful exchange and we're talking about family and we're talking about different things that are important to them. We're not talking about the work that they're doing. And I just remember looking across at all of them and being like, you know, they're just people. They're just people living their life, doing the best that they can, understanding very little about what they're really doing to the earth. Like, this is just where they're at right now. And it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful experience. And I felt so honored to be there doing this work and bringing the light to these people that really needed it, and to the earth, and healing all of this. Like, I knew I was there for a reason. I knew that I was there to coexist with them and co-create with them, but also coexist in the different aspects of me. So I was there in a training capacity, but I'm also a healer first and foremost. I'm also a light worker first and foremost. And those things can coexist together. And so in this day where I'm clearing some frustration energy and feeling like I just don't want to people, they really wanted me to tell you all that story. And, you know, I'm doing the best I can today. I'm hanging out by my tree. I'm not gonna, you know, people too much today, and I'm just gonna be in nature. So if this strikes a chord with you and you want to be able to hold more of your wholeness and more of your fullness and more of your light in situations where you would normally feel judged or feel like you don't belong, that's the essence of what we're going to work on in our healing circle on Wednesday, October 12th at 7:30 Eastern. It's called Coexist, and we're going to be clearing out judgment and frustration, but most importantly, we're going to be anchoring this energy of coexistence, this frequency of coexistence. So I hope y'all are doing okay. Hang in there if you're feeling frustration. I just keep getting guided to spend some time outside on my own, to let whatever this is, which feels really old in my being, let whatever this is clear out. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my story and hearing my truth. And I hope to see some of you in Healing Circle this Wednesday. Have a great day.